I'd like to start by saying that we are not experts. We are works in progress, struggling on the path, falling over a lot and helping each other up. And so it's in that spirit that we share our experiences with you today. So before we go into why Sufi activism, we thought we would share a few definitions with you. So, Sufism. Sufism is the education of our humanness, that which is in harmony with all that exists. It's a way of life that is given to us in the living example of the Quran and all the prophets, over 120,000 of which apparently came to us from all traditions. They came to awaken us from our selfish egoism and to remind us of our fitna. It's a cultivation of the refinement of character, and essentially it's love-based, which is for us the essence of our faith, the core of Islam. Activism is a policy or action of using vigorous campaigning to bring about political or social or environmental change. I forgot environment from this, please forgive me. Lutfi and Rian, who are speaking about environmentalism. Yes. Activism can be from the smallest act to the greatest social changes that we've seen throughout history. People on the streets who are chanting, people in front of cameras, in government, physically, mentally, emotionally taking on the strains, going into prison. They are supported by an army of people who are behind the scenes. And the ones that are in the office, photocopying, canvassing, leafleting, are just as important as the ones that may be remembered and historically become famous. So that's something that we really want to highlight, that it's not just the faces that we see, it's everything that comes behind that as well. It's a community. So, what is Sufi activism? We could very easily have called this, and we kind of did initially, spiritual activism. But we had a talk by the absolutely wonderful Dr. Obeid Safi, who is an American professor at the Islamic Center of Studies at Duke University, North Carolina, which is very different to South Carolina. I don't want to make a mistake there. So Omi came over on a trip, and he was very kindly offered to speak with Rumi Circle. And it was a very quickly put together talk within about 48 hours. And we just thought something came to our hearts. We thought we'd love him to speak because he is a spiritual activist. We wanted him to speak to us and people that came to hear about this. We had a wonderful turnout, really interesting group of people that we hadn't seen before at our talks. And one of them was an activist who had been working for maybe over 30 years in this field. And she spoke to me afterwards, and I kind of got this sense that there was a bit of burnout with her work. She'd been working in Muslim circles, in activism. And she felt that she had come and she'd been really surprised and overwhelmed to hear a Sufi talking about activism. And when she said that, it really shocked me. And it was kind of disturbed and stayed with me for a while. And I spoke about it with Fati, and I was saying, why is this such a shock? And we realised that we're really privileged, because I think that everyone thinks that Sufis are activists. And it made us reflect upon, why is this that we have this view? And it's because, for us, our path to Sufism came because the teachers that we were drawn to were activists. Our teachers are Chickpea Press. And they've both been working in a very active way in different sectors, influencing different roles Emil Helminski was one of the first women to translate a significant portion of the Quran into English. She was a founding member and advisor for WISE, the Women's Initiative for Islamic Spirituality and Equality, the divine, in whichever way they can see. Her husband, Kabir Helminski, has co-authored countless books, including the most well-known translations of Mevlana Rumi's poetry, Masnavi, Divine Kabir. And they both teach every year in various locations around the world to thousands of people who are being taught by them, being shown the way of how to be Sufi activists. And this realization, something that I have been taking for granted for so many years, really came, apparent to me through this reaction to this person who come and was expecting that perhaps this is what a Sufi looks like, removed from the world. And we really wanted to burst this idea that this is what Sufism is, that you retreat from the world, and it's all about yourself and trying to connect with God or be good in character. Yes, it is that. Sufism is also this. This is a Sufi dervish from St. Louis in America. She's out there representing in women's marches. She's also a child psychologist. Another active work that she is doing to help people. Another example, if someone close at home, is our dear friend Iman. She's an Egyptian-British woman who has been thrown into two worlds. Back in Egypt, she created a microcredit project, which was in response to the Arab Spring and the need in Egypt after the revolution for people who had been left without homes, without businesses. And this was just something that came from her heart, that what could she do to create a way to help these people? And so she thought with a few friends, just to lend, she felt that she was privileged, and she created micro loan projects to help people to get back on their feet. And a lot of these people would create new businesses that then would become prosperous, and they would be able to repay these loans. And some of these people could barely support their families, and this was then given as charity. And the whole community came together, and they were able to actively help people in Egypt. So that's her homeland. But then here in Colchester, she's been involved with the refugees Colchester Community Action Group, and she's become the lead person that people go to help bring refugees into the community. She is called upon to speak about the crisis, and she's actually quite a she'd rather be at home researching. Her background is in research, right? And now she's been flung into this very public role, and it's been so beautiful to watch her dealing with the challenges, not just of speaking in front of cameras and having people come to her to ask her about these things, but actually dealing with the refugees, dealing with the misogyny from the male refugees, because she's the person that is managing their transition to this new society. She is the one that's holding the power to help them assimilate and acclimatize to this society. And watching her really kind of come into her power as an active human being has been such an example to us. So this is what Sufi activism means to us. So we are called Rumi Circle. Fatimah will speak more about what we do. But throughout this, we want to use the words of our guide and teacher, Mevlana Rumi, to really emphasize and to illustrate how Sufi activism is at the core of Islam and spirituality. So we just wanted to share a short extract. O Master, exert yourself while you can. Follow the way of the prophets and saints. Making an effort isn't fighting destiny, because destiny itself has given us this work. If anyone has ever suffered loss by following the way of obedience and faith, I should become an unbeliever. If your head isn't broken, don't bandage it. Work to do good while you can, and then laugh eternally. For us, this is an illustration of how we cannot engage with the lesser jihad. We cannot try to influence the world before we have worked on the greater jihad. We have to work on ourselves before we can do anything. Sometimes we feel this can be a missing component of activism in the world. And I feel I've seen this with people who have been trying to be activists, who have been activists, but they get burnout because they're not getting nourishment from somewhere. They have to take care of themselves. We have to take care of ourselves before we can help others. Sufism is a framework for inner development, which fuels positive engagement with society and relationships. To know yourself is to know your Lord. So we are now going to go on to why do we need this? And I'm going to pass over to Fatimah.
Thank you. So I'm going to offer 3 reasons why I think that Sufi activism is really important for us at this time. And as Saimma said, we did talk about why Sufi activism and why not spiritual. And actually I was just wondering, well, why not Salufi? But I'm afraid I didn't know enough about the Salafi movement. But maybe my brother Islam can enlighten me as to whether we can use that term and bring it all together, which would be wonderful. So I think one of the primary reasons why I've been thinking this a lot is because sometimes I reflect on the nature of the problems that we currently face, right? They seem sometimes very complex, sometimes very chaotic, not only on a global level, and a national level, but even in our local communities when we try to unpick things. And of course this weekend we've been reflecting on those in the context of British Muslims. And as Saimma mentioned, we know friends that have been active in this space for a long time. Actually, I'm a relative newcomer to it, really. And yes, they do feel sometimes fatigued at the fact that they feel that this continual influx of new things happening and new challenges appearing. And on the other side, what I've seen and experienced a lot is I've seen disempowerment in the face of what seem like very big challenges. I've seen people say, well what's the point? What's the point of engaging? We're always going to be perceived like this, or the powers out there are always going to go after the world's resources, this is just human nature, why bother? And of course that's always really troubled me actually. So in effect, both of those things lead to in action. And I guess what I've learned as the Sufi path can offer is, well, the Sufism says, well, you were born with this connection with the divine. Experience it, nourish it, build on it. And what my experience has been is that when I'm in contraction and difficulty in my work or whatever it might be, to remember that I have that connection with the divine and that I can go back to it at any moment gives me such a strength. It powers me on. And then what comes with that is that, what comes with that connection and that sort of, moment by moment returning to the divine is that perhaps that kind of looking at things or trying to look at things from the perception of the eternal. To look at things from the perspective, in as much as we're able, of Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, the everlasting, the self-subsisting source of all being that will always be, and to remember that, that God will take care of things, but I must play my part, and we are asked to play our part. So I must play my part, but then I must leave the outcomes with God, because God will take care of it. So my Sufi perspective helps me with that. I'm not always very good at it. Sometimes I can kind of control everything and make it all better, and I get really fraught, but then come back to my remembrance of God, and I realise, no, I can do my part, and I'm going to do that, and the rest I will leave in God's hands. And then the final thing that the Sufi perspective gives me is that it helps me to remember that all of these challenges, they're here to offer us all an opportunity for growth. And I think that can be very often missing out there in the activism that I see, that, of course, it looks very negative, but we don't know what's playing out behind the scenes. We don't know what good may come. And of course, in response to Trump, we have all these wonderful demonstrations. So, so that's one reason why. The other reason is, so that's the nature of problems we face. The other thing is that people are talking about post-truth, alternative facts, right? So, we are short on time, so I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible. But, we're in a situation where actually the truth is rarely apparent. Whether this is in the global stage or whether this is in our workaday lives, actually, can be a reality that even in our workaday lives, people have agendas, and we're not always clear on what they might be. And sometimes even the people that have the agendas don't really know that they have them. So it makes it all kind of, it makes it interesting and challenging. So one of the things that I feel that I really need in that situation is, I feel that I need some sort of inner stillness. And what I need is, I need some guidance. I need the capacity to discern the way forward. And Sufism offers me a way to do this. It offers me meditation, so that I can develop an inner sense of watchfulness to see what is coming from me and what is coming from elsewhere. It offers me the capacity to pray and remember in different ways and to call on God for guidance. And of course, even if one is not a Sufi, that is there. The ability to call on God is there. We were looking at a passage from the Quran yesterday, in which Moses is continually calling to God for help, continually praying out. But as a Sufi, it's something that I've found that is really encouraged. And then, thirdly, as human beings, our nature is self-preservationist. So even our own activism can be tainted with our personal desires. And we can lose sight, actually, in all of this, of our goal and of our end goal. And so Sufism asks us to check in with our intentions constantly, to be self-aware, and to really work on adopting an appropriate behaviour and to act from love and service to humanity. So our ultimate goal is to, when we serve, really to serve from a place of love and not our ego. And even though we are running short on time, I'm still going to tell you this beautiful story that Rumi tells us in the Masnavi about Ali. And I think this is a really great example of what I'm trying to communicate. Ali is in battle, and he is faced with an enemy, and he's at the point where he's going to just, he's got the sword in his hand, and he can finish this enemy off. And the enemy is, he spits on Ali. And Ali, at that moment, he just drops his sword, and he's like, just completely, he's disarmed by this. And the man's like, well, hang on, you could have just, in that moment, you could have finished him off, why didn't you do it? And he's like, well, initially I was going to do this, and it was in the service of something greater. It was in the service of Islam, in the service of my Creator. But when you spat on me, that made me angry, and I would have then acted from a place of ego. I would have acted from a place of anger. And I think that is what we need to cultivate, is that level of spaciousness around our actions and our communications, that we can take a step back, and we can bring ourselves back to a place of love and ground in that, and act from that place. I was going to talk about now. Would you like me to? Yeah. So really quickly, I'm going to just say two things actually. So I'm going to just say that there's two ways in which Rumi Circle tried to embody this. One way is through we try to create sacred and safe spaces for people to come into contact with each other. And we try and hold these spaces with love. And one of the key things that came out of the discussion yesterday about integration was, the end conclusion was, we just need to come into contact with each other more. The beauty of Mevlana's teaching is that it speaks to all hearts, no matter what faith or no faith. And so we end up with very beautiful mixed gatherings. And what we try and do then is we try and do beauty there, whether it's poetry or whirling or music. we just try to offer that poetry, that beauty, because we know that beauty unlocks the love. And the other thing that's really important I wanted to mention before we finish is what makes it possible for us to do that. And the thing that makes it possible for us to do that is we're a group of 4. We've been working together for a few years now, and we call upon other friends to help us from time to time. But the 4 of us are all on this journey of self-awareness and growth together. And what happens is that when we do these events, sure, our ego comes up, oh, well, my idea is better, I want to do it like this. But because we kind of all know that we're on this journey, we can kind of be like mirrors to each other. And we can show things up in each other that, in a really nice and a very loving kind of way. And Saimma and I particularly, we've been working together for many years now on this. It feels like many years. How many years has it been? A lot. Anyway, but Saimma and I are very, in some ways, we are very similar. But in other ways, we're very different. And we have a very different approach on things. And one thing I would say, just in terms of, because I don't want to say too much further now because we've taken up so much time, but when I started this journey, I couldn't see the things about me that might upset Saimma, but now I do. I'm much more conscious of the ways in which my personality might make things difficult for Saimma. And and I think I'm pretty sure that Saimma knows me very, very well. In fact, I feel like Saimma knows me better than I know myself. And because Saimma holds our relationship in such a beautiful way, she models this interaction in such a beautiful way that actually I can be very, I don't say what I feel all the time. But seeing Saimma say what she feels, even when it's not attractive, has made me feel that I can do it. So just in our own relationship, but this has been a real gift for me because it's helped me. And so the thing is, one thing that I'd like to come back to now, and I'm really sorry for Saimma because she's not able to speak, but the thing is that it's relationship, and we learn through relationship, and it comes right back to what Karen Armstrong said right at the start. She quoted that those verses from the Quran which talk about that, we created you different so that you might go out and learn from each other, and so we're different. We were created differently, but we are learning from each other. And I'm so sorry because I know there are important things that we didn't say.
No, you will have lots of time to say those things.
That's brilliant. I just want to leave it on this slide. We are all this, we are all called, and we are all responsible for the smallest actions which lead to it.